Hello, and welcome back to another segment of Rate the Leadership. I am your host, Jai Mays. I am so excited to be with you guys today. Thank you so much for stopping back by my channel, and I pray that you get value out of this. First, foremost, I want you all to see we always keep the commandments in the building because that is the foundation of good leadership. And I always want to go over some of the characteristics of being a good leader. And this is what we look for in a good leader. And I like these characteristics because it helps us to determine, is this a good leader or not? And that's what we do here on Rate the Leadership. So I'm going to begin with empathy, communication, delegation, vision, confidence, resilience, integrity, decision making, let me say that right, innovation, transparency. That's always the best one for me. Transparency and accountability. It seems like you can have all of these qualities, but the transparency and the accountability is out the window. So we need to bring that back on into good leadership. Okay. Courage, creativity, listening, self-awareness, empowerment, influence, passion, emotional intelligence, that's a big one, humility, respect, and positivity. So now that we've got that out the way, I have a great show for you all today. Honey, the mayor of Dalton, Illinois, Tiffany Henyard. And the only reason why I'm bringing this up is because we have had some leaders in office from the last 4 years that has just been, I'll say it, terrible. They are not demonstrating good leadership skills, but don't take my word for it. I want you all to rate this on your own. And don't get me wrong, I am a Black woman, okay? I am. And so I know that there's responsibility that comes with being a leader. I know that. And so when I'm looking at this, and right now we're going to rate the mayors because I've got several of them. Because let me tell you all something. What does the Bible say? And it doesn't matter if it's just the king. He's giving a reference. King Solomon says, when the king is righteous, the people rejoice. But when the king is foolish, the people mourn. When the king is wicked, the people mourn. So you tell me, are the people rejoicing or are the people mourning? And I'll tell you what, by the time we finish with this compilation, you will be able to tell. So let's get right into this. This is Miss Tiffany Henyard. She was the first African-American mayor and township for Dalton. I think it's Dalton County in Georgia. And let's see. Is she a good leader? Let's rate the leadership. Let's get into this, guys. This thing is wild. Here we go. Woo.
Tiffany Henyard is now on the FBI's radar over corruption.
Beating and attacking on a Black woman that's in power. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
The investigation is coming after nearly 2 years of embezzlement allegations.
As the first African-American female mayor of Dalton, of course all misunderstood.
Critics have been accusing Dalton's first female African-American mayor of spending taxpayer money on luxury cars and first-class trips around the world.
Everything we do for the people. But
Now listen, folks, we have got to, and I'm talking to my African-American sisters, we have got to stop blaming race when criticism comes our way. We have to stop that. If we're doing a good job, we're doing a good job. But we know inside, everyone knows inside if they're doing a great job or not. And so many times, our nation is so quick to run to, they're only doing this to me because I'm Black. No, they're criticizing you because of bad leadership. But again, don't take my word for it. I'll let you determine that. Let's keep going.
under attack. We getting scrutinized in the media.
6 people have currently confirmed to the media that they had been interrogated by the FBI as witnesses to Tiffany Henyard's corruption. One of them told federal agents how Henyard allegedly shut down his business after he refused to make a donation to an event that Henyard hosted. What do you think of Tiffany Henyard? Henyard, should she be arrested and put in prison with the rest of Dalton's criminals? Comment what you think about the situation down below.
This is crazy. So do you consider, we're just going to keep up, okay? I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to let you guys make this determination for yourself. If you are threatening and bullying donors, do you consider that good leadership? If you have to threaten donors, if they're not willingly giving you and donating to you, do you consider that good leadership? I don't know. Let's keep going. Let's keep
Really showed up to a board meeting like Nino Brown demanding money from the citizens.
Let's start this over. What?
This mayor really showed up to a board meeting like Nino Brown demanding money from the citizens.
Employees and equipment. Fox 30.
Did they say Nino Brown from New Jack City? This can't be true. Let's check this out. Come on, guys. No.
Tuesday's Dane Placco investigates where all that money is going.
Nobody knows something. Don't nobody know nothing.
Tiffany Henyard certainly isn't shy about attracting attention. Here she is starting a Dalton Village board meeting dressed like the Wesley Snipes character in the movie New Jack City, later punctuating her political points with the help of her own DJ.
Every single resident. Pay me what you owe me.
Who is she talking to? Is she talking to the residents? Is this what she's playing for the residents that she's supposed to govern? Rate the leadership. Let's keep going.
Thank you, DJ.
Henyard's picture and name adorn virtually every public posting, both from Dalton, where as mayor she makes $46,000 a year, and in Thornton Township, where as the elected supervisor she collects more than $200,000 a year. But for all that money, Henyard's tenure at both has been chaotic, with firings, scandals, and a legal battle with the Dalton trustees over spending.
I'm not saying it. I'm telling you all to rate the leadership. I'm putting the information out here, and we're going to make an intelligent decision. Now, and you're going to make it in the comments. We'll go there. It's either a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Let's go.
So last fall, Henyard did something that would seemingly generate some good publicity, helping establish the Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation to help breast cancer patients. And on the very day the charity was chartered, it received a huge donation, $10,000, from the Thornton Township Board, which Henyard presides over.
Taxpayer money shouldn't be paid into those types of things.
Stephanie Wiedemann is the former Thornton Township Chief of Staff whom Henyard fired shortly after taking over in March of last year.
It almost felt like a takeover, and a very aggressive one at that.
Since her firing, Wiedemann has been documenting township spending and says she's stunned by the taxpayer dollars funneled into Henyard's charity, especially this.
We got 10 days. We're going 196 miles.
Last October, Henyard led a delegation of Dalton and Thornton Township employees and political supporters on a march to Springfield to promote her breast cancer charity, which she documented on her Facebook page.
We're walking through Dalton. Hi, we're in Brightwood now. We are in Godly now. We in Bloomington, baby.
I can pretty much map out their entire Springfield trip on the township credit cards.
That's right. Henyard billed thousands of dollars in hotel rooms and meals during the trip to Thornton Township and Dalton credit cards. In addition, the videos show Henyard used multiple village and township vehicles owned by taxpayers to escort the caravan, including a flatbed trailer with a photographer, flying a drone, and a DJ.
We got our mayor right here coming from Dalton, Illinois, walking all the way to Springfield. Y'all make some noise for our mayor, the people's mayor.
But they didn't always walk.
We on motorbikes, baby.
At times, riding electric bikes.
Yeah, I see my bike.
Our township supervisor.
It looks like a misspending of tax funds. I think that's the biggest concern.
Dalton trustee Jason House has been doing battle with the mayor since she took office.
Very disturbing to hear these things or to kind of see some of the receipts that appear to be connected to it. And I think the taxpayers really deserve better than that.
And then there's the merch.
It's a shirt. One of the t-shirts.
Along the way, Henyard sold and gave away T-shirts and hoodies, also available on her charity's website. A week before the trip, the township paid $17,000 for specially printed hoodies and T-shirts, but won't say what they're for.
I think that everything she has initiated has been something to promote her, something to get her name in household, something to get people to buy into voting for her.
Our investigation found at least $11,000 in public funds spent on that trip. But both Dalton and Thornton Township have been slow or unresponsive to open records requests. So what was the purpose of the 10-day march to Springfield?
I have created a bill, which we're going to speak before the Revenue Committee, to give everybody $5,000 on their income tax when they file, if you are suffering from cancer.
A noble goal, except the Revenue Committee wasn't meeting when the group arrived in Springfield. Henyard did later testify at a committee hearing in Chicago, but so far nothing has come of her bill.
I think I'm doing a damn good job on leave.
So we went to a recent Thornton Township board meeting to ask Henyard some questions about all that spending.
I've never ever been bitter to the news. Max, this is my olive branch to the media. Can you guys reach out to us and ask us our opinion before you post it? I would appreciate it.
And so we did.
I'll ask you a few questions.
Okay.
But Henyard wasn't anxious to talk about her charity.
Why did you and the board vote to give your foundation $10,000?
I'm the face of the foundation. My name is nowhere, sir.
Say again?
I'm the face.
You're the face. What was the purpose of going to Springfield?
Thank you guys. Hey, she doesn't have any more comments.
No, we're going to talk.
She doesn't have any more comments.
Accountability. We're looking for that. Rate the leadership.
Thanks, guys.
That's Keith Freeman, whom Henyard hired at both Dalton and Thornton Township and was part of her Springfield walk.
Look at Keith. Keith, baby.
Freeman also filed paperwork for the charity bearing Henyard's name.
Why are you using public money for your personal charity?
$17,000 for insurance. Why?
And with that, her security detail hustled Henyard upstairs and blocked the staircase with a table. So we tried asking another employee who went on that trip.
You went down to Springfield, and what were you hoping to do in Springfield?
You need to ask the people that handles that. I'm not the one that handled it. I was just riding the bike. We need more officers on the streets. We need our streets repaved. So to spend that kind of money on a charitable event or...
Listen, everybody. This is not coming from me. This is coming from the citizens, okay? The residents. This is coming from them. I'm just saying, rate the leadership. Let's keep going.
To write unadulterated threat.
Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard was the center of attention at a community meeting tonight.
Only Henyard wasn't there. Our Nate Rogers is, though. And Nate, this got heated again.
Absolutely, Don and Scott.
Did he just say, yeah, absolutely. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. Rate the leadership. Here we go.
Hours before tonight's meeting, Mayor Tiffany Henyard announced on social media that the meeting would be canceled after she received, quote, credible threats made by multiple, credible threats made against multiple elected officials. That meeting still took place tonight. As you mentioned, Henyard was not in attendance. Board of Trustees saying that they received no information on credible threats. Now take a look inside of the meeting. A Dalton Park District auditorium was packed with residents, most of them critics of Henyard, encouraged to dress in Army fatigue. Mayor Pro Tem Jason House ran the meeting with at least 4 trustees and a clerk present, which constitutes a quorum. More than a dozen people spoke during public comments, addressing the township's animal control not being properly licensed, streets plowed in a timely fashion, and Henyard's alleged late rent payments on her home. Also present was Fania Dukes, who claims she was was allegedly fired by Henyard after reported being sexually assaulted by Dalton trustee Andrew Holmes in Las Vegas last year. Holmes has not been charged in this case. Here's more from Dukes and others that spoke tonight.
I was going to be here standing up for myself by myself, but look at y'all right next to me. I love y'all too.
I would never respect someone who chose to fire a sexual assault victim to keep an alleged predator named Andrew Holmes in a seat just to vote her way.
Now she want to call in a threat of a credible. She is the threat. She is the outright, unadulterated threat.
We do not need her right here in this venue because we have the quorum. We swing this thing in Thornton Township, we'll have a quorum in both places.
And after public comments and general announcements, trustees went into a closed executive session to address other matters. Two important dates were mentioned. First, a Thornton Township Town Hall taking place January 21st at 6 p.m. That's at South Suburban College. Secondly, February 25th, the day of Dalton's election.
She is.
Woo! This is a lot. This is a lot. And it is not my place to judge anything because God is the judge. I am simply laying out the evidence and asking you as the audience, do you consider this good leadership? Because it seems like the citizens do not consider this good leadership. Let's just keep going. Here we are.
Mayor of Dalton, she is also the supervisor of Thornton Township. Credit card records show Henyard and her team have charged taxpayers more than $102,000 for trips they've taken in the past year. That includes a stay at the Four Seasons in Atlanta and a $13,000 hotel tab in New York City. Township taxpayers also paid for a trip to Los Angeles.
Honey, Tiffany has been living it up. I mean, lavish life. Lavish life.
Las Vegas, in which a Dalton trustee is accused in a civil lawsuit of sexual misconduct with one of Henyard's aides. The group was in Sin City to attend a conference that connects retailers with communities for potential projects. But several South Suburban mayors tell WGN Investigates the township doesn't play any role in economic development, so they have no idea why township taxpayers picked up that bill. Henyard's team has refused to say how all the travel benefited residents. You can read the full story at WGNTV.com/investigates.
Okay, so with almost $103,000 in travel expenses, what else are they going to uncover?
Woo! I'm just putting it out here. Let's keep going.
21.
Now, give you a background story. So this right here in front of us, this is the ex-mayor of Chicago, Lori Lightfoot. And she was put in charge to audit Miss Tiffany Henyard in Dalton. So we're just going to see what her findings are. Let's just listen, because they placed the ex-mayor of Chicago and put her in charge of investigating the mayor of Dalton. Let's just see what she came up with. Here we go.
An email to John Kasparek. Chris Mirabali, remember this guy who's responsible for supervising the work here at Dalton, noted, quote, "The mayor has requested that the warrant list for both electronic and regular billing be sent to her first for review and approval prior to it being released to the board." On October 4th, 2021, Trustee House emailed Mirabali seeking missing payroll reports that he had not received since the August 27, 2021 payroll. That same day, Mirabali forwarded that email from Trustee House to Mayor Henyard and sought advice on how to respond. On October 21st, 2021, Chris Mirabali reported to John Kasparek via email that Mayor Henyard was very upset with him because he disclosed in a board meeting that she had directed him not to send trustees payroll records. There's a board meeting that precedes this October 21st date, where you can see on the YouTube video that she's asking him, did I tell you not to send this information? He answered in the affirmative, and then that was the source of her anger with him. He was later called into a meeting with the mayor in the presence of Janice Johnson and Dorothy Brown, and the mayor in effect told him that he should never contradict her in public and that he should shade the truth.
He should shade the truth? Well, there's transparency, accountability, and selflessness just thrown out the window. But listen, don't take my word for it. I want you to rate the leadership. Let's just keep going.
It happened during public comment, fists flying in a moment of chaos that residents described as disgraceful.
That should never happen. I just couldn't believe.
Wait. Was the mayor in a fight at the town hall meeting? Now, this is the mayor. And I also heard that she was helping her boyfriend or fighting with her boyfriend. I don't know the full story. I've got to go back. There's been mixed stories. The mayor? Rate the leadership.
That it came to that.
Moments earlier, activist Jedediah Brown had called Supervisor Tiffany Henyard an expletive. And when he appeared to walk toward her, supporters jumped in. The result, an all-out brawl that multiple witnesses say involved Henyard herself.
This is chaotic. This is chaotic. I'm trying to find some good leadership here. How about you guys? Let's see. Let's keep going.
One thing when the guys were fighting, but when she jumped in it.
What? So it was the men fighting and then she jumps in? Rate the leadership.
I was just taken aback. I was floored.
She jumped in. She hit her head on the table. So, I don't know, she might be injured.
Brown was carried out by security, and police were called. But it wasn't over. It took several minutes for tempers to finally cool. Before the fight, there was plenty of verbal sparring. At this first meeting since trustee Stephanie Wiedemann was selected to fill a vacancy on the board at a meeting last week of township electors, ending a political standoff over the position that led to a government shutdown. With Wiedemann, the board finally able to approve the township's tax levy ordinance and insurance, ending the shutdown.
The township will be reopened tomorrow. We will go back to operating our vehicles. All our buses will be out and running.
The board also defying Henyard, voting to put on leave with pay 2 of her associates and to hire independent auditors to probe their work.
That ain't right.
But the abrupt, violent end to the evening leaving residents upset. This meeting to do the people's work marred by ugliness. Messages left for South Howland police were not returned. We also spoke with Henyard's attorney, who had no comment tonight.
Listen, folks, we went over the characteristics of a good leader. And we're going to take this back to Proverbs. When the king is righteous, the people rejoice. But when the king is foolish or wicked, the people mourn. And that covers any type of leadership position. So you let me know in the comments. Do you think Tiffany Henyard exhibits good leadership skills? Do you think she is a good leader? I want you to rate the leadership, put it in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one. Godspeed.